So they know if they come back to us, we've done it for a number of years. They feel comfortable, we get a little time with the police, get to know them a little better, and I think it works for us and the police. And that's my report.
That is an excellent report. Thank you, Vern.
And Vern is one of the very steady, with his wife Sharon, one of the very steady volunteers at every cookout. Much appreciated, you guys, thank you. Okay, I want to plug the city app, DV City Connect. It's a wonderful app to put on your phone. You can find out the calendar of events, you can get links to agendas, and you can do code complaints through there. DV, what's the thing called? The See, Click, Fix. So if you see something that you think needs fixing, take a picture, go through the app, and it will route it to the right place. So instead of like going on Facebook and saying, what is this here? Or talking to your friends, do it through See, Click, Fix, and maybe it'll get changed. That would be better. The First Step Shelter Board meeting is April 13th, Monday at 4:30 at the YSG Center. Anybody who's interested in the homeless problem should probably start going to those meetings. While they have a very specific mandate, the more you know about what they're doing, the better able you'll be to discuss and have fruitful conversations about what other needs other ways we can fill the needs for homeless people. Beachside Redevelopment Board meeting is coming up next Wednesday. What is that, the 8th at 6 o'clock. A lot of people are feeling like the beachside isn't getting enough attention or it's not looking good enough. And that's a good meeting to go to, and you can make your public comments and get your voice heard by the redevelopment department and the people who are active on the beachside, who are on the board. City Commission meetings coming up April 15th and May 6th. So I urge everybody to attend those if they can. They're very exciting. We have coming up on April 18th, a meeting in Lenox Park. And that is a meeting, that's a Saturday from 11 to 1. And that is a meeting that's being put on, Juanita May, Commissioner May is organizing that meeting. And along with the developer of a project that's going to be going up in that area. And we don't have an idea what the new project is. They're not discussing the new project at this point. But that developer is willing to put some money into upgrading Lenox Park. So this would be your opportunity, whether you live in the neighborhood or not, to go to that meeting and get some input on what upgrades you'd like to see in Lenox Park. Yes. 11 to 1 on April, and this is all written on your agenda too. I'm basically doing the terrible thing of just reading what's written here. So, okay. The next thing on the agenda is the announcements is the Crab and Seafood Festival. Although this isn't a beachside event, it's a great event, and that's on, what is that? The 18th. Oh, the 25th. Yeah, the 25th from 11 to 8 on MMB. And at the same time, there will be live music at Daisy Stocking Park, which is right there. So that is a great event to attend. The Midtown concert, oh, that's they did? Oh, and now we're to thanking everybody. I'm very lucky to be part of a very active board, and I really appreciate them, and I always try to name them, and I always forget somebody. We have Ted, Vern, Sue, Jared, who's not here, Ken, who's not here, and Kelly in the back, and I think I got them all this time. So Sharon is not on the board, but she's quasi on the board because she's very active with the board. So thank you, Sharon. She's our debate timer. Now she's our videographer. So thank you. I appreciate everybody who serves. And if you think you're interested in serving on the board, let me know because we're always looking for new people. Okay. We also want to thank Father Phil, Hillary and her crew, and Our Lady of Lourdes because they let us use this space for free. They let us use their kitchen for free for getting ready for the cookout, and they're always very accommodating, and it's greatly appreciated. So thank you to Father Phil. Last month we collected for Father Phil and the church, and we gave them $66. So that was good. Thank you. We don't have any elected officials here tonight. We do have a candidate for City Commission Zone 3. He just registered today. That would be Steve Miller in the back. Yep. No, not Glenn Miller's brother. Smarty pants. And he's also chair of the Midtown Neighborhood Board, which is also a very active group, and they're the second Monday of every month. It's a great meeting. So if you want to go to another meeting, that's a good one to come to. And I think that's it. I think we're. Oh,
Snuck in
no,
with you.
you snuck in.
Snuck in. I'm a little late, sorry. I
Come
come
on
from
in.
the main
Yeah,
station.
we'll have Captain Jones give a police report. Thank you.
Sorry, I snuck in. That was good. Ran a couple minutes late. Oh, I tried. Good evening.
Good evening.
So last time I was here, I felt horrible. I forgot to thank you guys for all the hard work during Bike Week. We do appreciate everything that you guys do to show your support for law enforcement and you guys being there for both weekends, Friday and Saturday night. So we appreciate everything that you guys have all done to make sure that they feel appreciated and they have water and snacks and fully fed before they hit Main Street for long shifts. So thank you very much for everything that you guys do. Bike Week went off without a hitch. It was long 10 days. It was busy, but no major issues, so we're very proud of that. We're rolling now into special event season. April is going to turn out to be very busy for us. We're gearing up for some events, and I am old, so I have to look at my calendar. G Beach is coming, yes. So this weekend, Easter weekend, obviously you'll see some activity over at the Boardwalk, the band shell. We have the beach run. Sunday is the services for Easter, so pretty good events, usually well attended, nice day out, hopefully. Next weekend, the 10th and 11th and 12th is obviously the cheerleaders. That's a big event for us. We're excited to have them. Usually a good event, but you'll see some increased presence down in the tourist area there with the cheerleaders coming in town. Jeep Beach is a 10-day event now, if you did not know that. It starts April 17th through the 26th. This is the second year that they're doing a 10-day event. The first year was not really well attended. I don't know if they just didn't do good in advertising or it just is not going to hit as a 10-day event because it's a long time. They're trying it again. We anticipate the first weekend's probably not going to be as busy as the second weekend. Maybe it'll kick up because it's the second year that they're trying it, but we're still staffed for the whole 10-day event because we don't know what to expect, but the second weekend definitely will be busy. We're still in conversations with the Main Street merchants as far as what they want to do during that 10-day event because they want to host a couple of events. They are a good group that usually comes for Jeep Beach, so we like coming to those events. We want them to continue to come. They're big community supporters, so we're trying to help them out to figure out where they can go hang out, which doesn't create a nuisance for y'all that live over here with the noise. So all that is still in the works. We still have 2 weeks before they start, but we're prepared and staffed for that. And then May just rolls into graduations, Rockville, and everything else that we're used to. So this is the time that we're busy over here. You will see an uptick, obviously, in tourist activity. The Boardwalk unit actually will start this Sunday, so we have a big transition on Sunday. We have 11 officers coming out of training, so we are very excited because we need them. So 11 have graduated the FTO phase. They hit their shifts. And then with that, we were able to make some promotions. So there's a promotional ceremony tomorrow that the chief has made several sergeants in a lieutenant position. And then the Boardwalk unit will transition on Sunday. So you have 6 officers and a sergeant to the Boardwalk unit. So they'll be assigned on bicycles, they'll walk on foot, they'll be in their cars depending on where they're at and what they're covering, but their main focus is the Boardwalk, the band shell, and that tourist area right there. So we're excited for the addition. Obviously there'll be some growing pains with the new additions as far as where to truly focus them and if they're going to leave that area depending on what's going on, but they are focused in that tourist area. So. But a lot going on in the police department. We're very excited. We will start another academy. We have just hit our cutoff, so can't tell you please apply because it won't make this academy, but we're hoping for the next academy that will start in April for 18 officers. So we are still hiring. We are still trying to get them through as quick as we can because we still have some vacancies, but we're moving in the right direction where we need to be. So. All right.
Any questions? Yes.
Can you explain what happened over Spring Creek?
Yes. So I know the chief has made a statement, so I don't want to contradict what he said. I was actually on vacation. My dog had emergency surgery, so I guess it was a good week to be off. The first weekend we were caught off guard, so it's really hard to monitor social media, and we do it consistently. So we see flyers all the time, and you're trying to gauge whether somebody's actually gonna show up. They pass it around to another person, so how many shares it gets. So it was very difficult to know if people were actually gonna show up, and that was a social media unsanctioned event is what happened down here. The second weekend we geared up because we realized it's obviously spring break. There may be more people that are coming because of the first weekend. We mandated a ton of people. We put in the special event zone and nobody showed up, which is good for us. We appreciate, but the officers are like, why are we here? So it's a game that we play consistently. We're not the only ones that have to do it because obviously being a tourist town, I know that there's an event being posted right now that they're coming April 11th. They're now posting to Panama City. So Panama City is dealing with that. Are they coming to you? They coming to us? It's been going like this for the last 4 or 5 years. Social media has changed everything that we have done. It is very difficult, and we're making decisions based on who do we believe is gonna show up? Are they accurate? Are they sharing? They also know that we watch them because we send them cease and desist letters, so now they're trying to have their own chat groups or their own underground communication so that we don't know that they're coming. We do the best we can, but we do mandate when we need to. We know the trucks are coming the first weekend of Jeep Beach. We're mandating for Jeep Beach and the trucks because they should be here the Saturday on the same time the first weekend. So
will our streets be blocked off right there on Main Street, Oleander Avenue?
I don't think we've made the traffic plan yet because we're still having communications with Jeep Beach as exactly what they're going to do. The truck event is in New Smyrna. There's nothing sanctioned in the city of Daytona, but we know they come here after the New Smyrna Speedway closes.
Right.
We know we'll see them on Brazzles and Seabreeze. So, but as far as something here in the city, it is not. It is sold out in New Smyrna. They did the same thing last year. During the day, there was really no issues. That night is really when it amped up and they wanted to come to Seabreeze. So, but we're ready for them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I live right by the police station at Wild Olive and Harbor,
Mm-hmm.
and the big white church.
Mm-hmm.
Their parking lot needs some signs that say church parking or private property or something, because on that weekend
Yep.
that you're talking about, there wasn't a space to be had in there, and they had a mess to clean up
Yes.
afterwards, because they dumped garbage all over that place.
Yes. I'm in communications with them. Apparently they were letting them park there too. So that's a balance back and forth that it's private property. We can't force them out of there if they're allowing them to.
Right, but
But I think they've learned a hard lesson that they are gonna probably block it off for the next couple of events or sign them up for the trespass arrest site.
all they have to do is put up private property signs at the entrances, which they have nothing.
Yeah.
So because they have nothing, people just go in there all
Yeah.
the time. Every weekend, all day Saturday and Sunday, people go to the beach,
Yep.
park there, and dump garbage all the time.
Yep. They're aware of it, because I've reached out to them, because a resident asked me to talk to them after the spring break event. They're aware of it, but we can't force them to put measures in place. It's private property.
I'm asking questions about certain houses on our streets.
What do you mean?
Well, there was a tenement on Oleander Street which we got dealt with.
Yeah.
It seems now to me that they're now building up again on 224 Hollywood, which is.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We've chased them around. There's a plan in place that I can't share and things that we're working on, but yes, we know that they have moved from Oleander to North Hollywood now.
You know very well that at Bush Pipe.
Yep.
It was there.
Yes, we're chasing them around. So unfortunately, 401 Oleander had so many people in there that now that they've dispersed, they're kind of going in both directions. Some went north, some actually went south, and they were taking over a residence off of Halifax, and we kicked them out of there. But we are aware where they're hanging out now, and we're working on a couple things that just haven't panned out yet. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
Okay, I forgot a couple of other announcements and other people who wanted to make announcements. One, I was just handed an announcement. It says, we have spayed or neutered 33 cats. In what time frame was that? When did you?
Since you guys collected the money for the cages, which was about, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, good job. Excellent, and that's not an easy endeavor, so I'm grateful you guys are doing it, thank you. Now where Sue Odina has an announcement she would like to make about a meeting they're having called Minds Matter.
Thank you. You're welcome.
April 25th, here in this room, we will have several different speakers, including SMA, the Veterans Service Center, Presbyterian Counseling Center, and 2 more. At any rate, 40% of the homeless are thought to be mentally ill. They can only keep them for 2 days on one order, for 3 days on the Marchman Act, and then they have to let them go. We have a lot of people that have other mental problems, and in fact, some children in the area that are in facilities because of social media. So we hope that you'll join us. It's from 10 until 1 right here. It's free. There will be refreshments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue. And then we have an announcement from Joyce Akon, Seniors versus Crime.
Just briefly, there's a couple lectures that are coming up. Tuesday, the 21st, actually the police department is going to do, one of the officers and a detective is going to do a scam school at the Halifax Historical Society at 2 p.m. I'll be there, but I'm just representing Seniors versus Crime through the Attorney General's office. I'm not speaking unless somebody asks me a question, then I'll speak. Friday the 24th, there's a senior expo, but this is in Port Orange. It's on our Facebook page if you want more information on that. And before our next meeting here, May 5th, Tuesday, we're doing, Seniors versus Crime is doing a disaster preparation and scams lecture at the City Island Library from 2 to 3.
Awesome. That's it. Thank you. And one of the things, it's not Seniors versus Crime specifically, but the county clerk, if you go there and register your email and your address, your property address, if anybody tries to mess with your deed, they will send you an alert. So that is, and they did that to me when I sold my house. It was like, no, that's okay. So it does work. So it's worth doing. Okay, I'm gonna make this announcement now, even though it's not appropriate, because I never make it at the end. When the meeting's over, please help put away the chairs. Okay, we are on to our guest speaker, Letitia LaMagna, City Clerk for Daytona Beach. Thank you.
So good evening, everybody. I'm a little nervous about this. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm not as entertaining as Chitwood is. So I'm just kind of nervous about what to say. So as Ann said, I'm the city clerk for the city of Daytona Beach. I know a lot of people here. I've seen a lot of people. Does anyone here not know kind of what like the clerk does or what my office does? You don't know? Okay. So my office, we're responsible for, our primary responsibility is public records. I'm considered the custodian of records for the city of Daytona Beach. Doesn't mean I have access to immediate access to every record in Daytona Beach, but I'm the one that helps people get the records that they need. So when you make a public record request to the city, it's usually coming through my office. Unless it's police related, then it's going to the police records department. So we kind of work in conjunction. Last year we did about 2,500 public record requests, and the police department did about 5,000. So, and I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but when I tell other clerks that, their eyes roll back in their head, because they're like, you know, because I'll go to conferences and they'll be like, oh, you know, we had a rough month with 100 public record requests, and I'm like, that's adorable. we might get that in a week. So one of my other positions or jobs is I sit on the dais with the city commission. So my office helps the departments put together their agenda packets, and I sit there. So we provide the packets to the commission, and then, like I said, I attend all of the meetings, all the workshops, everything that they have. So twice a month I'm there with the city commission while they take care of city business. Now, last night was a city commission meeting. It was April Fool's Day, and it was also a full moon, and so we were there till 1:30 in the morning. So they don't usually go that long, but it was pretty tense. Yeah, pretty dramatic last night. So
Was that because of the fire department?
that was about probably because I think the auditor presentation went about 3 hours. So there was a lot of discussion and back and forth. And I'm the one that you'll hear. I call up the people to come and speak. I'm the one that'll be like, "Sir, your time's expired." That's me up there. So I try to help run the meetings too. The mayor is the presiding officer, so he runs the meetings, but I try to assist him in that because sometimes they'll forget. We need to vote. They made a motion. We need to vote. I have, besides me, there are 4 other members of my staff. So I have a deputy city clerk who also attends the meetings with me. And I have then 3 other employees. I have 2 research specialists and an office specialist. So the office specialist is paying our invoices, doing things like that, handling our meetings calendar. And my research specialists are handling documents and helping us prepare the agenda. So every contract, resolution, ordinance that comes through the city, I sign as well. So the mayor signs, or the city manager will sign a document, but I'm attesting to everything. So I'm the one signing all these documents. So after this meeting, I have a pile of documents I have to sign. I always like to joke, I'm like, when I was little, I used to pretend I was famous and practice signing my name, but you gotta be careful what you wish for, because I am signing my name an awful lot these days. My office also tracks all the resolutions and ordinances. So once the contract, so they do a contract for, I don't know, for putty or for water hoses or something like that, that they take before the commission to say that they're allowed to buy. Then my office processes the contracts and the resolution that awarded that contract. And then we maintain those documents. Under Florida, it's called Florida retention law. So the Florida state sets the limitations on how long you keep a document, or how long you're supposed to keep a document. Resolutions and ordinances are forever. Meeting minutes are forever. If you come to my office, if you'd like to come and visit and see what we do, I do have minutes, handwritten book minutes from the town of Daytona Beach and the town of Seabreeze before they became the city of Daytona Beach. They're really neat. Sometimes it's a little hard to read because it is very nice cursive handwriting. But yeah, so we have all those. Those are a permanent record of the city. So it's my job to make sure that those records get maintained permanently. We do have electronic record keeping. So a lot of those resolutions and ordinances that we have are scanned into an electronic system that maintains them forever. There's computer backups and things like that to make sure that those records don't get lost. Because unfortunately with paper and living in, a beach area, paper is going to degrade, things are going to fade. So that's why we keep those handwritten notes, those handwritten minutes, we keep them in a vault that's sealed. It's fireproof. I believe it's also flood-proof. It's on the 2nd floor, so it shouldn't really flood, but so we have to maintain those in a very specific way in order to keep them. So I also help train the rest of the city staff on how to maintain records, because I'll be honest, when I first came and worked for the city, I started out in UB, in utility billing, and I didn't know what a public record was, and I didn't know, oh, I have to keep this document for 5 years, or I have to keep this document for 2 years. So I help train the rest of the city staff how long we're supposed to keep documents and how you are supposed to keep them. In April, I can't remember the date, but we have the state of Florida coming to help us train the entire city staff. So we'll be doing that as well. Because there's certain things that we have to maintain as well. For instance, I don't know if any of you heard about the P cards that we had on the website. And a couple of them had information in there that should not have been made available to the public. And part of the training that I'm doing now is trying to make sure that people, there was no reason to have that information with the P cards, so it shouldn't have been published in the first place. So part of that training is not only how long you have to keep it, is like what you need to keep and where you need to keep records. So records with sensitive information, you should not keep in the same place that you keep with records that don't have sensitive information. My office handles the meeting schedules, so all the board meetings that the city does, we publish them on our website, and we have a notice that goes out. So make sure that the public is aware of at least our public meetings. There are other sometimes meetings that we're not aware of that are just like community meetings, but for the ones that are official public meetings of the city, my office maintains the calendar for that. I also process the board applications for a lot of these boards. So if someone can submit, I have some board members here, so you can submit an application for a board. My office processes it and then provides it to that board, what's called a board liaison. So each board has their own staff member from the city that helps manage that board, because unfortunately my office, with the size of it, can't manage all those different boards. So they help us decide like who qualifies for what board and who doesn't, and then my office will put that in front of the commission saying, these are the applicants, yay or nay, if you want them to serve on that board, and I also brought a list of board vacancies that we have, because we do have quite a lot of vacancies. Some of our boards, like the Beautification Tree Advisory Board, has not met in several months because they don't have a quorum, because people resigned or quit or just didn't show up anymore, and now they don't have enough people to hold a meeting. So under Florida statute, a board, depending on their membership, so for instance, the City Commission has 7 members. They have to have at least 4 members present in order to be able to do any action or vote. So if they don't have the 4, then they cannot hold a meeting, basically. So we have lots of vacancies for our board. So if you guys will check this out, I have paper applications, and also online, we have online applications. And then this year is exciting. This is one of my favorite times of year because it is municipal election time. I really do enjoy the municipal elections. I know people are like, that's crazy, but it is a lot of fun. I get to meet, I always tell people, I meet the commissioners before they're commissioners. So, and my job as the city clerk is to help people get on the ballot, that want to get on the ballot. I make sure that they live in the zone that they say they want to run for, that they get the petitions that they're supposed to get, all the documents and paperwork to remind them when to report for their financial reporting, for their treasury reports and things like that. So that's my job. I'm going to do whatever it takes to help people get on the ballot. And then after they're on the ballot, I'm like, you're on your own. It's your, you guys have to take it from there and run your campaigns and do whatever, but I will make sure to help you every which way I can to get people on the ballot. This year we have 3 zones up for office. It's zones 1, 3, and 5. Mr. Miller signed up for zone 3 this afternoon with me. And then in 2028 is when we'll have the mayor zone 2, 4, and 6. So our city commissioners have 4-year terms, and we do not have term limits. So they can be, I think Gilliland was a former zone 4 commissioner. I think he was there for 19 years before someone displaced him, so.
Could we change that?
Well, we had what's called a charter review commission. So at least every 10 years, they have the charter review commission. So the commission appoints members of the public. Steve was on the charter review commission. You were on the charter review commission. And they will they'll review our charter, and then they'll bring up things to change. I think the only thing that got changed this last time around was, it used to be that in order to run for an office in a zone, so let's say I live in zone 2 and I want to run for office, I had to live in that zone 6 months prior to qualifying period, and then be a registered elector, which means I could go the day before qualifying and register to vote in that zone. They changed it to you have to live and be registered to vote 6 months prior. And I've had to turn away a candidate this year for the first time because of that, because they lived in the zone that they lived in, but he hadn't changed his voter registration from when he lived in DeLand the year before. And he's like, oh, I thought it was just, had to be Volusia County. I'm like, no. I said, I'm sorry, you came to me, went through gave him a packet, went through the whole spiel, he came back, had all his paperwork, and I'm like, you're not registered to vote here. So I couldn't allow him to run, so.
Who was it?
It was someone new, and yes, you could do a public record request to find out, because I don't actually remember at the top of my head who it was, what his name was, but yes.
Does the city manager have to live in Daytona?
According to his contract, yes.
Does he?
Yes,
He does live.
he does live in Daytona. Yes, ma'am.
So, we have, we're being sued for our zone, the way our zones are. So,
Yes.
there's one the first redistricting we got sued for. Then there's the second redistricting. And then didn't we get
I
sued
think
for
we're
that?
on the second,
We're
so,
on the second.
so we did redistricting in 2023, 22. And then we got sued by the ACLU and another group. So what they did is at one point, in order to vacate that lawsuit, they went back to the commission zones that it was in 2020. Yeah, 2020. And then we rezoned again. They went through the whole redistricting process all over again and rezoned. And the day after we adopted that rezoning, they sued again. So we were kind of on our second go around.
But Lisa Lewis is going by the original one, isn't she?
She is not anymore.
No.
I got the email today.
Okay, interesting.
So like hot off the presses, I have the precincts of where people
Okay.
vote. So when you get your voter registration card, you'll see like your precinct 602 or 16 for for zone 2, like 610, 611, 609, 612. Because of our rezoning too, we expanded the number of precincts that we have. So she gave me the list of what the precincts are and where the locations are for that. So that, like I said, got that today, hot off the presses. And she said that the interactive map should show you where the new zoning is, and that the registration cards, she said, should be mailed out around the 13th.
Okay,
So,
good to know, thank
yeah.
you.
I got a question, so is there gonna be another rezone?
It depends on the outcome of the lawsuit.
But it's
So-
gonna take some time, right, for that?
It's gonna take some time, I believe, and I don't wanna speak out of turn because I'm not an attorney and I'm not really privy to the attorney-client privilege stuff, but from what I understand is there is a case going before the Supreme Court of the United States in June that may affect our case, so. So I think our local judges are kind of waiting to see how that pans out before they move forward with our case. Who else has a question for me? Yes?
What is the lawsuit about? Why are they suing?
They're suing based on the redistricting that they think that it is, or their, I don't want to say accusation, it's 'cause the plaintiff is saying that our rezoning is illegal based on certain things like race and location and things like that. So.
So is this in
Yes, sir.
How many people are you in charge of?
I'm just in charge of 4.
4?
Yeah.
And what are they? Just assistants or?
So I have the deputy city clerk. She comes with me. Her name's Jennifer Marcourt. I'm so blessed and grateful to have Jennifer. Jennifer's a beachside resident. She loves Daytona Beach. So she's my deputy. So whenever I'm not around, she fills in for me. So, and she's my right-hand lady. I said she keeps me sane. That's her main job, is to keep me sane. Yes, sir.
And you got 2 Jennifers?
Yep, I got 2
Is
Jennifers.
that legal?
Yes. Yes, Jennifer Marcourt and Jennifer Lynch, and it does get confusing around our office sometimes when I'm yelling, Jen, and they're like, both what? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
I do have to say that you do run a very tight ship and you do
Aw.
an amazing job.
Well, thank you, I appreciate that. And then I have Mackenzie, who is new. She's a young lady who, she's doing our public records request right now. So she's handling the public records request. She's also an excellent baker. So I'm having her make me some fresh sourdough bread this weekend. I'm very excited about it. And we have our newest member, her name is Madeline, and she came from UB, so I stole her from another department, and she's doing our public meeting calendars, and she's doing my scripts and things like that. She's doing a wonderful job, so. She's very quiet though, so sometimes you forget she's there, so. Someone else had their hand up, I thought, over there. Yes, ma'am.
Is the city planning anything for the veterans for Memorial Day?
That we don't know, but I'll find out and get that information out to you. The best place to look for any of that information is going to be on our website. We have a wonderful communications staff who they run our Facebook page, our Instagram, and all the social medias that I'm not on to to show everybody, what we have going on. And Susan and her staff do a great job, and they take it very seriously. Yes.
So I was at the Parks and Rec body lot, and they are doing a Veterans Day parade.
Yes. Mr. Miller.
How many years have you been with the city?
I will be 20 years this December, so like I said, I started off in utility billing, and then one day went upstairs and saw that the assistant city clerk job was open, and the city clerk at that time was Jennifer Thomas, who is my mentor. So I applied and I got it. And then when she retired, she recommended me to the city manager at the time to take over, and they gave me the chance to do it. So I love it. Yes.
First, I'd just like to say you do a great job. I don't know how
Thank
you juggle all of those people on the board and everything. But I wanted to know, the request was made last night that the public comments be changed to the beginning of the meeting like it was in the prior administration. And, it is unreasonable for people to wait till 1:30 in the morning to speak.
Yeah.
So, is there any chance that that's gonna happen?
No, I think that they brought it up and it kind of died with the commission. But at the end of the night, we had one speaker that stayed till 1:30 in the morning, and that was what she talked about. So you never know if another commissioner is going to bring it up or bring it up again. Sometimes you try it out and it doesn't work, and then later on they bring it up again and it's more pleasing.
Well, I think the other thing to remember is that general public comment does not have to be allowed at all.
Yeah, that's true. So under the state of Florida, so if I'm taking an action on an item, we have to allow the public to have a chance to comment on that item. So that's why a lot of times under, if you watch the meetings under commissioner comments, if they make a motion in a second, then we have to open it up for public comment because we're supposed to take comment on action items. The general public comment is you can come up there and talk about your favorite TV show for 3 minutes, whatever you want to talk about. It's not required by Florida statute, but we do have it because it is important to hear from the citizens. And a lot of times things are brought up during that public comment time that we or the commission aren't aware that's going on. So.
Well, last night one of the commissioners made a motion, and I didn't see any public responding to the removal of the city manager.
They opened it up for public comment.
There was none.
There were 3, I think, that spoke on it. Because was it more than 3? John spoke on it, John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. I always joke to the staff, I'm like, I'll be old in a home somewhere, and I won't remember my name, but I'll be going 413 North Grandview Avenue. They're like, oh, she must have lived there when she was younger.
One question on that, so when that item comes up in the situation, can you just go up there and speak, or do you actually have to get a yellow or green paper?
No, usually at that point I'm just like, whoever wants to come up and speak, get in line and come speak, because we don't have to make people wait to fill out the forms. But usually for the agenda items, yes, we will require you to fill out a form for each item that you're going to talk on. And part of that is because not everybody in my staff divides up the minutes to do them. So it's not just one person sitting in a dark hole doing nothing but but minutes, we all do a portion of the
So
minutes.
somebody's in the background, when you say you have 6 of them, they're all getting 3 minutes, is what you're saying? 6 people give you yellow paper, somebody
Yes,
says-
yes,
and
yes.
somebody's in the background saying, we have 6 times 3, put them up there.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that.
Well, in our public comment section, we don't have a time limit on it at the end. So however many people sign up to speak is who gets to speak during that time period. So we don't have a time limit as far as the actual public comment form is what we call it. So if we have 30 people sign up to speak, then 30 people get 3 people, get their 3 minutes.
So I've always been curious, when things come up, like during commissioner comment, somebody makes a motion, there's a vote, what are the rules around it having to have been publicly noticed X number of days in advance before it's brought up for a vote?
Not everything has that statutory requirement to be brought up. So things like public hearings, quasi-judicial hearings, I think those have like a 10-day requirement. So that's when, so you'll see a lot of times my assistant Jennifer, she'll be sitting over there on her laptop is because the first reading items that passed, she's sending out the ad to the News Journal to make sure that it gets advertised in time for the next meeting. So we have to advertise those 10 days prior to. But just standard resolution items, a lot of times those don't have a requirement for, like you can bring it up and that's why a lot of times, like you said, they'll bring up and say, well, we're gonna make a motion to have the manager do this or staff to bring back that, regardless of whether or not it needs a resolution, but they can do it.
Can you tell people how they can sign up to get the developer-initiated meetings notifications?
Sure. I don't actually handle the developer-initiated meetings. That is the planning department, since they do most of the planning. But if you go onto our website, there is a place where you can sign up to get those developer-initiated. And I recommend, please go on our website and explore our website and what we have. We have interactive maps. We have all the information. We have the notification about the Citizens Academy, which I'm glad you guys participate in. And if you haven't done it before, I highly recommend it. I've had staff members, I've sent my staff to it. Like a lot of times, like the newbies, I'll send them because, like I said before, when I came on board, I don't know what utilities does, or I don't know what Public Works really does. They do the garbage. I'm like, well, no, they contract that out, and there's a third party to it. So you learn a lot about the city just by doing that. And that helps us in our job too, because we do the city commission agendas, and we handle all the contracts and things like that. Our department, as small as it is, touches every other department within the city. So all that stuff passes through our office. Now, I don't run or manage those contracts, so a lot of times people are like, well, hey, this says this, and I'm like, well, I can tell you we have it, and I can give it to you, but I can't tell you how, what the guts are. But we interact with every department in the city, and because of public records requests, we touch every department in the city for records at one time or another. Our most popular records requests, though, are simple ones. They're realtors or title companies. They want to know, does this property have any open code violations? What water services are they getting? Things like that. Are there any open or expired permits? Yes?
When you choose to run for a zone as a commissioner, do you get like paper that says what that job entails? Or is it just like no knowledge?
That is a good question, because every city is different and so it's not like you can go to, the supervised elections has a boot camp for new candidates. But as far as learning about what a commissioner does, we don't really teach that per se. What we always recommend is, like, if you're gonna run for office, or if you're gonna even wanna be on a board, go to that board meeting and see what they do. Talk to the other commissioners, and sometimes even some of the ones that maybe like, I'm tired of this, I wanna hand the baton over to somebody else, talk to them and they'll explain to you what's going on. Because like, in the same instance, I've had more than one candidate tell me I had no idea what went on in the city until I became a commissioner.
Yeah. And some people walk away from the job, they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They think, oh, maybe I'll be a commissioner, and then they say, that's too much, but I wonder how they know it's too much.
I think a lot of them were involved beforehand. Not so much anymore, but it used to be a lot of our candidates came from the planning board. So they would be on the planning board, and because they get to see like all the development agreements come through and what goes on in that, and the planning board recommends to the city commission whether something should go through or not. So I think a lot of them get that experience there, or like I said, some of the other boards they're on. Read the agenda. Our agendas are pretty much, that's what we're giving them to make a decision on. So all that backup,
You research it? Is that
all
what you
that
have to
backup
do?
information, yep,
Yeah,
so,
it's like a lot of work.
yeah.
That's what
It's a lot of work.
someone said, it's a lot of paper to read.
It's a lot of paper to read, yeah. And we're trying to get away from paper. I have a couple of commissioners that still get books that I'm gonna try to gently nudge away from that, so.
On the website instead,
Yeah, so they would get a link and
look it up.
look it up. And they can look at the same link that goes out to you, to the public. So when
Oh,
there is a notification, you can sign up to know when the agendas are posted. And so you can look at that thing, there's hyperlinks, there's a link there for you can get a PDF, so if you wanna print out the whole 600 pages, more power to you, or if you just wanna look at a specific agenda item and what the backup is. Cause some of them are just, we need to buy cars for utilities or things like that, and then some of them are way more complicated.
yeah.
Do you have a question? Mr. Brown?
Oh,
I thought it was
no, I just wanted to add, you said cars, I said EVs,
AVs.
which they're still not getting bids on.
Well, we do have a charging station. Do we have one or two?
No,
Two, because I see you.
Yep, it's only free for now.
Do you have access to the National Registry for Historic Homes?
I do not, but I can get you in touch with who does. So the person at our Historic Preservation Board who,
Just signed up, by the way.
you just signed up, he doesn't, and the liaison for that board just retired, Doug Gutierrez, who is really, really good, but his name is Emil O'Brien, is the new board liaison for that. So I will get you his information. I have your,
I'll bug my
yeah.
neighbor,
What other questions does anyone have for me? Any answers? Yes, sir.
Since nobody else is asking questions. Yeah, I love the website. It's been through numerous versions over the years.
And
some-
I hate to tell you, it's gonna be through another one pretty soon.
But some of the links don't work properly, especially the mobile links. And only because I have deep knowledge of it, I continue to dig. But I would say this, some of it's not as user-friendly as it needs to be,
I agree.
especially in the mobile app. Is there anybody from the city that actually does it from the outside, and signs on and tests the links?
We currently are using a service called Civic Plus. So it's a third party that manages our website. Lots of cities use it. I don't particularly like it myself. I don't know if anyone's listening to that. And I
Oh, you're being recorded.
Hi,
Hi,
Civic Plus.
Nobody watches, so it's okay.
But I know we are redesigning our own website, so there will be someone internally that will have control and manage over that. And part of that is because of the ADA requirements for accessibility for the websites. Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, now when you click and you open up the agenda, it doesn't open up to the latest agenda. There have been 2 occasions when I have gotten everybody riled up in my, there's gonna be the resolution on native plants, Jenny, you've gotta go. And then it's like, oh yeah, that was September, last year. So,
And I've had issues too myself where like people have told me that and I've had to go back and republish. And I'm like, okay, I'm unpublished for some reason, I'm not sure why. But like I said, that's one of the things that they're trying to figure out with the new website. So hopefully, and I know you said last night that the sound cut in and out
yes.
while you guys were watching the
Yes.
meeting live. And I don't know if that had to do with, one of the presenters had a mobile microphone on his lapel.
It's not that.
And then the other one, the news people came and they come up before the meeting starts and put their microphones on our microphone. So I don't know if it's interfering with that, so I'll have to get with our AV. Our AV,
It happened before that.
oh, it did?
It's
Okay.
been an ongoing.
It's been ongoing. Our AV guys are really great though. There's two gentlemen that always work our commission meetings, Joseph Graves and Xavier Campbell. And they do the Mayor's Fitness Challenge, and they do Citizens Academy, and they do, oh, that's another thing. I forgot. Well, I'm tired, so that will be my excuse. We have a youth advisory board, and I am the board liaison for the youth advisory board. So we have high school students that sign up and are appointed by the city commission to the youth advisory board. So they come and they learn about what government does. Last meeting, we had the redevelopment director come and talk to them. I asked them questions about, I said, what did you guys think about the spring break thing? And so they, they gave me their opinion on it. And last year, they did a food drive for the Second Harvest Food. And we collected, I was a little disappointed that we didn't get it weighed. But they collected 5 of those 65-gallon boxes of food from different locations and did that. So this year I'm trying to think of another volunteer thing for them to participate. I have something in mind, but I don't want to say yet. It's still a secret. 'Cause until I write it down, it's not a public record. So as long as it's just up here. All right. Well, thank you guys. You've been a great audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Letitia. Okay, and there's a lot of great handouts up here, including the board vacancies, board applications, the zones where, precincts where you vote. These are things you can find later, but if you can pick them up now, you might as well. So please consider serving on a board. And I think that is the end of our meeting. Wait, Ted,
What about the chairs?
I'm gonna ask about.
We're moving them right now.
No, but it's not quite over. I want to say that I won't forget, maybe. We will see you at our next meeting, I hope, May 7th. Our guest speaker will be County Council Chair Jeff Brower, so that will be good.
Ooh, that'll be a
And-
good one.
And that's it. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for your presence. And please help put away the chairs.